One of these days, I'm going to get an intro. Anyways, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Grown Up Podcast. If you've been looking out for that notification, I appreciate you. I'm sending much love and positive vibes your way. And thank you for tuning back into the Grown Up Podcast for today's episode. I start the episode off appreciating and thanking the listeners and subscribers. Without you guys, this podcast would be nothing. So thank you so much. I'm grateful for you. I hope you're still tuning in, and I hope you're checking out all these independent artists that I've been featuring and supporting them and their independent movement. We haven't stopped. We are supporting a spotlight artist this month. And if you have checked her out, I'm so happy that you have. If you haven't, you can check her out at the end of this episode today. Today is an update episode, but I want to make sure that I'm promoting her and giving her her flowers. So today I'm going to throw her second song that she sent me at the end of this episode, so you guys can check out the Naturally on a Wave segment and the spotlight artist for this month. Okay. All right, so let's get into it today. Today's episode is going to be an update episode. I've been busy looking for a job. As you guys know, I kind of briefly went over some of the insane things that have happened to me in the past couple months, including losing my job and being out of work, and it's more detail to that story, but I'm still dealing with a lot of things, so I don't want to put everything out there. But that was the biggest major blow to me, and trying to survive day to day, figuring out just the simplest thing of just trying to eat, and I always knew that God was definitely watching over me, and he definitely blessed me so much to today, and so my update today is I found a job, so I have a new job. Things are looking up, getting everything back to where it should be now, just kind of put my head into working now. And so now I'm trying to figure out the new schedule with working and podcasting, and it's not the easiest one, because I'm the one that has to put my mind to this and create my schedule and say this is what it's going to be like, and so it's really hard for me to set a schedule, because I have all these other things that I'm working through, with obviously, like I said, losing my job and all of that, of course, with transitioning, and also with other things. And so I'm just going to update you guys basically on just kind of what's been going on in my crazy grown-up life. And and then we're going to support this artist here at the end of the episode. Okay, so let's get into it. So first things first, if you guys can't tell, my voice is finally dropping a little bit and getting deeper. So I'm officially 9 months into taking testosterone shots. So every Friday I get my trusty dusty needle ready. I take the syringe, I get out the tea, and I shoot myself in the stomach with my shot. For 9 months I've been doing that, and it's been going great, actually. Finally starting to see some changes physically. Mentally have definitely been changing. Emotionally has definitely been changing. Dealing with the mental and emotional has been a roller coaster, really fast and loopy roller coaster. But I think I'm finally coming around and heading a corner where I'm turning down a street that I'm finally comfortable with, and finally being able to see myself and step into myself and put myself out there. And so that leads me to my second thing, which is my new job. At my new job, everything is what I had hoped would happen with my previous job. But, God said that wasn't the way for me, so he led me this way. And, I'm actually very grateful and thankful for that. My new job sees me for who I am. They call me by the name that I prefer to be called by. They're very supportive, and I couldn't ask for a better environment to be in with dealing with my transition. And so I'm in a better environment now, and that makes a whole lot of stress off of me, because dealing with transitioning and putting yourself out here into the world, I'm very cautious, because I know, you see it on the news, you see it everywhere. There's not everyone is going to accept different, and it's not just a transgender person. It's anyone who decides to be different. If you decide to have a lot of kids, if you decide to have a little kids, if you decide to have no kids, if you decide to transition, if you decide, you're gay, if anything that you decide that is different than society's standards, or what society sees as the right way or the normal way, is very hard to continue your path of different, because every step of the way there's going to be people who are going to say, no, you can't do that. You can't be different. You can't, what? No, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you're supposed to be, and you're supposed to act this way, and you're supposed to do that till the day you die. Okay. And these are the rules. And it's like, who made these rules of this is exactly how you're supposed to do things? And, that's how life is supposed to go, because we all know that we're all different. And if that was the case, we would all be born the same, literally from head to toe, inside and out, and the world would not be the way that it is. We wouldn't have different types of buildings and different types of cars and different types of ways of communicating, and all these different things that we have in this world that we benefit from in some shape or form. We don't see that within people. We don't see that we're benefiting from people being different on a daily basis, and so for me, I kind of realized that, and I'm like, okay, I have to pick and choose the environments that I know that will be accepting of different, and surround myself with people who support different, and then I can go out into the world with those people, and we can deal with those who don't support different. And so that's kind of the path that I'm on. I'm trying to build an environment around me, of shaking the past people who were not accepting of different, and coming into a new path of people who are accepting of different, and surrounding me in a better environment to be able to mentally and emotionally survive better for the rest of my life. And so that, of course, starts with this job, and that's great that I'm in a better environment, and definitely, like I said, a weight lifted off my shoulders with that. And so the next thing that I've been working with is my relationship. A year now passed with my lovely girl, and things have definitely not been easy. She has been here since the start of this transition, and I'm so thankful and grateful for her that she's lasting on this ride, because it definitely has not been the most fun, and so, but working through that, and communicating, and very much so just learning to be present, and put my transition aside sometimes, and just kind of see my relationship and see her, and that has been such a growth for me as well. And so working through that, taking time from just doing my normal stuff, being busy, working on the podcast, going to work, setting up interviews or whatever, just taking time away from that and giving that time to my relationship, to be present, and work through those things that we need to work through. And of course, spend time, because we definitely don't have a lot of it with having to build our careers and with me transitioning and, both having to build our lives separately and figure out how they intertwine together, and so being so young and figuring things out is very like crazy most days. It's like you wake up and you're like, damn, I'm really doing this shit, like I'm really doing life today. Like, damn, I didn't discipline myself. I went to sleep. I'm waking up. I'm going to work. I'm working. Like, this shit, sometimes it blows my mind. I don't know if any of you just do that and sit back and think like that, but I do, and it's crazy sometimes. Because it's like, damn, like, is there, like, there isn't, but it would be great if there was like a pause button, if there was rewind button, like if we had a remote to our lives, like click, it would be interesting to see that, like what the difference would be. But instead we just have this go life and the society that we live in. And so it just, sometimes I just think about that and I'm like, damn, that shit. Wow, we be doing it, y'all. We really be doing it. But anyways, yeah, so those 3 things: transitioning, my new job, working on my relationship, I've really been focusing on those, and I definitely have a lot of episodes that I've written out and want to have these conversations with you guys about, but taking the time that I need to throughout this transition is very healthy for me, and it gives me better perspective when I come back, to talk to you guys and let you guys in and have these conversations about life and how we're going about life, because this shit is hard on one hand, but on the other hand, if we just had these conversations and accepted that we were different and we have different perspectives, I feel like we can work towards a much better society. But that's on another note. So anyways, so yeah, the next thing I have been working on is getting the podcast out there, getting more listenings, different audiences, and so you guys know that I made business cards, and I've been not doing the greatest with handing those out. I try my best, but I have to be better at that. We all know my social media, definitely have to be better at that. I'm trying my best at that as well, but of course have to be better. But I will say that working very hard to get my podcast on podcast streaming networks has been successful, and has been very rewarding for me, to say the least. And so I hope everyone knows that we are streaming on pretty much all major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all those major podcast streaming platforms. I'm streaming on them. And then I'm also streaming on like the smaller ones like Overcast, Acast, which is the platform that I use to upload my podcast on, and all of those smaller ones as well. And so also streaming on a new app called Good Pods. If you guys haven't checked that app out, you should check it out. It's a podcast curated podcast app. So if you're looking for podcast recommendations or anything like that, you can download Good Pods. You can listen to me on there, and you can also check out some other podcasts as well. But the newest app that I've just been added to, I just got the email a couple days ago. And if you're following me on the podcast Instagram, at The Grown Up Podcast, you would have seen that I posted about the network, that the independent podcast network I'm still signed with. That's Not Canon. By the way, you guys, please go and check them out. I'll have the link in the description for the website, as well as our social medias where you can follow us and check out more independent podcasts with us as well. But yeah, so I posted about TNC, That's Not Canon Productions, again, the independent network I'm signed with, and let you guys know that I would be announcing something here on this episode today. And so, drum roll please. Grown Up Podcast has now been added to an amazing new app that I'm so excited to announce. So before I let you guys know what the app is called, first of all, I am afraid to put myself out there, and no matter how many times people say they like what I do, or they appreciate what I'm doing, or it's good. I never really believe myself, and that's my downfall. That's my little secret, you guys, is that no matter how many times you guys are supportive of this, sometimes I don't really fully believe that I'm actually doing this. And so sometimes I'll talk as if I'm not really doing it. And even though I talk with my brother about this, and I have to get this in my head that I have to talk as if I'm doing it, because I really am. And so that's definitely a downside of mine, is that I'm trying to work on to fix, of just being present in myself and knowing that I am doing these things. And so I was a little afraid to put myself out here with this, and submitting my podcast to be accepted, and to be a part of a new audience and a new network. And something just told me that I have to stop doing that. I have to stop being afraid of the work that I'm putting into what I'm doing, because there is someone out there, like you guys are listening to my podcast, and there's other people that are going to want to. And if I don't put myself out there and try to reach those people, I'll never reach the goal that I want to with this podcast, which is bringing us together and having us have those hard conversations and those real conversations that we should be having, so that we can push a better society, And so I told myself, what, just do it. Just put yourself out there, submit your podcast to this app, and see what happens. And so a couple days ago, I got the email that they like the podcast, its potential, and that I got accepted. And so I'm so happy and proud to say that Grown Up Podcast will now be on the Cube app. And the Cube app extends from the E3 radio, which is an independent radio network online. And so happy to be a part of this, because at one point I thought about dipping into starting an independent radio station. And so to now kind of be a part of this is insanely awesome for me, and kind of like a full circle. But basically the Cube is their curated app of music and podcasts by Black, Brown, and QT POC creatives. And so I'm just going to read their blurb here from their website. This website is e3radio.fm. So if you guys want to go check them out and see what I'm talking about, I'll throw the link in the description as well so you guys can check out this app. But their blurb says, it is a place for people to be inspired by the various ways Black, Brown, QT, POC, people show up in the world. Life attempts to put us in boxes and limit us to particular labels. But inside the cube, we are three-dimensional. We are showing our depth and breath by speaking our truth, sharing our wisdom, and spreading our joy. So yeah, I'm so excited to be a part of the cube, and that they've seen the potential in the podcast. And so if you guys want to check out the E3 radio or check out the app, I'll put the link in the description below so you guys can go and check that out, and listen to me on there. So along with all these other streaming platforms that Grown Up is on, I'm excited to say that we've been added to another one with more different audience perspectives, and I'm just overjoyed and thankful and grateful that I've tried to stick to this. Not tried, but I have stuck. See how my words have done. See how I do my words. I'm thankful and grateful that I have stuck to the podcast and stuck to continuing to stay true to myself and putting myself out there, and people loving that and accepting that, and love and acceptance back to you guys and positive vibes back to you guys. I wouldn't be where I am with the podcast without you, and like I said, I just couldn't be more thankful and grateful. And so, featuring my boogers. It's freaking allergy season, y'all. I don't have no allergy medicine. I've been trying to survive off of Benadryl, which is not good because it makes me drowsy, and it also messes up your liver or some shit like that. I think my doctor told me way back when. But anyways, that's beside the point. Last thing I want to tell you guys about before I get up out of here, sorry I had to stretch a little bit, is something very exciting. It's going to be a dynamic change for the podcast, but I will be overjoyed with how things are going to play out, because it's going to be exciting. It's definitely going to be a lot of work, but I'm always up for a challenge. So I'd say about 2 months ago, I was scrambling to put together 2 applications, which I believe I kind of told you guys about a little bit, but I'm gonna kind of elaborate just a bit here. I was scrambling to put together 2 applications for 2 programs that I had seen in this creative group that I'm a part of. They posted an email about 2 programs that, put your application together and see where it goes. And so I was scrambling to put my applications together, finally was able to do it, and I submitted them. And I have been waiting until this month to hear back from one of them. And the other one I won't hear back from until possibly sometime in August, I believe. But this month, I kept refreshing my email, hoping to see if I would get something. And I did. Last week, I received an email that they wanted to set up an interview with me for one of the programs. And so I was overjoyed, of course, excited, thankful, grateful that this opportunity was presented to me. And so this past week, I did my interview with the Audio Academy, and hoping to hear back from them next week, whether I got in or not. And this program will definitely, if I get in, it's definitely going to change for everything with the podcast and, of course, in my life, because it's a 9-month program, and I'm going to be traveling for sure, because I have to drive, over there and, do my work and due diligence and things over there. But exciting because it's with the radio station, and it's kind of like full circle, because I started kind of trying to dabble into radio, and at the time in my life, I guess it wasn't right. But now, there's nothing really holding me back whatsoever to pursue whatever may come from this, whether it's radio or podcasting. Super excited to see where this goes, to see if I get in or not. And of course, I'll let you guys know. Either way, I'm going to be happy whether I get in, and I'm able to learn and gain not only connections, but knowledge from the program, or whether I don't get in, because at least I know that I put myself out there, and that someone did see me, and that they do see the work that I'm putting in, and would offer an opportunity to me if I put myself out there like that. So, there's always a gain in everything, and I don't want to see not getting in as a negative. I want to see it as a positive, because it is a positive, because I put myself out there. They said you like a good candidate, and even though I didn't get in, I still take those words about me looking like a good candidate, and knowing that I can put together a good application enough to catch someone's eye. That means a lot to me as well. So fingers crossed, everybody, for me. If you're following me on any of my social medias, send me some love, some finger cross emojis, some heart emojis. And send me some positive vibes and positive energy that I get into this program. Either one of the programs, whether it's this one or the other one. Like I said, hoping to hear back from them later this year. So I'm really just, trying to do my thing, you guys. I'm trying to step into the audio world. I'm trying to do better with this podcast. Definitely continue supporting the independent movement. And just trying to figure out life. This is what the podcast is about. It's figuring out this grown-up shit. And I think I've definitely grown a lot in these past 3 months, and have grown extremely more within this transition these past 9 months. And so I'm just, excited to see more of the growth, see more of the opportunities, and show the love to everyone, and give back to you guys the knowledge and everything that I'm gaining. And I hope to continue just keep growing the Grown Up Podcast. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys so much. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful for you guys. That's all I got for you. I know I said this was gonna be a short episode, but it looks like it's a nice little updated episode for you guys. So I appreciate y'all for sticking around, and y'all already know what's coming up next right after this break. We got our Naturally on a Wave Spotlight artist for this month. She's only 30 minutes away from my hometown, so I'm excited to show love and support one of my Bay Area natives. So without further ado, right after this break, we gonna get into the Naturally on a Wave Spotlight artist for this month. Y'all already know. Stay tuned right here on the Grown Up Podcast. Alright, grown-ups, now that we got all the logistics out the way, we can get into the Naturally on a Wave spotlight artist for this month. She's dope as hell, and like I said, she's a Bay Area native, and I appreciate her for sending her music, and I appreciate y'all for checking her out. Please go and check her out. You already know the links will be in the description. Let me stop talking and let her do the talking. So, without further ado, Miss Zyah, Belle.
Sugar water, eating syrup sandwiches. Used to wash my mama car for $5. I ain't have allowances. Nah, she ain't had no tolerance. My mama raised me right. Made sure I got it right. Made sure I got it right. So I say my prayers every night. Pray that God keep me shining bright. You see all these carrots in my bottom grill. Yeah, you know my diet right. We eating good over here. Out the hood to be here. Only right that I ball. Marble floor, chandeliers. Eating crab leg with the champagne. Driving bad things in the road range. Wearing gold chains. They some models. All my girls is a fucking problem. Yeah. And I know that we deserve this. All the shit that we went through, yeah, it was worth it. Yeah, I know that we.
What's good, my lovely peoples? Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. And you already know you're checking out the Naturally on a Wave Spotlight segment. And this month we're shining the spotlight on Zyah Belle. Please go and check her out. As you can tell, she's dope as hell. Her links will be in the description below, where you can click right away, go and check out her music, and go and follow her on her social media. She's doing some dope things like, I don't know, going on tour. So go and check out her social media, go follow her, support her independent movement. And you already know, for me, my links will be in the description as well, where you can check me out and follow me and see what I got in the works. I got some things in the works, so stay tuned. I appreciate y'all. Much love, positive vibes. Stay safe, be kind, and we out of here.
They said no and I didn't listen. I spoke this into existence. Stuck to my guns, races won, and I went the distance. When you see me smelling like shade on a tea tree. Look at this ass, it's sick team. Look at this ass, it's sick team. Taking all shots, not missing. Guess that's why you diss me. Guess that's why you.
This is Auntie Gina. I'm calling you. Your mom just told me the good news. Jot down everything that the Lord is birthing in your spirit. Write it down, Gina, because you're about to explode. So then you can check it out one by one.
Over here, yeah. Out the hood to be here, yeah. Only right that I ball, yeah. Marble floor, chandeliers, yeah. Eating good over here, yeah. Out the hood to be here, yeah. Only right that I ball, yeah. Marble floor, chandeliers.